When undergrads get involved in research, they're more likely to stay at their university, enjoy their courses, and find career success. The University of Kentucky fosters research experiences through the Office of Undergraduate Research and the student-run Society for the Promotion of Undergraduate Research. Each spring, these groups host a showcase that allows students to demonstrate what they've learned and communicate why it's important. In April 2012, 198 students shared their discoveries through poster, oral, and table presentations. Here's what a few of these students and their faculty mentors had to say.
For my project, I designed The Crucible by Arthur Miller, and I started out by researching many images that I thought evoked the emotions of the play. And I found one that was the most evocative, and I used it as the launching point for the rest of my play.
My project is using the newest generation of PCR, so that's polymerase chain reaction. A lot of biological scientists are using PCR in many different forms. This is actually quantitative real-time PCR, and so what we're able to do is measure the relative expression of different genes within the entire plant.
I'm looking at the relationship between government spending and education on all levels, federal, state, and local, and the NAEP test scores, which is national measure of students' progress in a classroom. And I'm looking at that from 1990 to 2009.
This is part of a larger project. I was working with compost barns, which is an alternative housing system for dairy cattle. And we were looking specifically to find alternate materials to use in the beddings. Sawdust is traditionally the method, but we were looking for something that could be used from an ag byproduct or something that could be grown locally on the farm and chopped up and used.
My research project is dealing with wobbler syndrome, which is a developmental disease that affects the vertebrae in the neck, which cause compression, and the horses don't know where their feet are. So we looked for two factors because it's a very complex disease and we don't know what causes horses to get wobbler syndrome. So our project specifically focused on foaling date and genetics.
It's very important to foster young minds into research and scholarship because they are the next generation, and getting into the process of asking those questions and how to investigate and go from there, and they can bring so much to it, a fresh take and new things that they're learning, and the earlier they begin, they can contribute that much more.
The most important thing I've learned is probably collaboration, because you go into it thinking that you're probably going to be working on maybe some low-level project by yourself, but then it turns out that there's other people in the lab. Your mentor knows everybody and has connections everywhere, and there's so many people that are a wealth of information and actually really want to work with you and help you produce something that's awesome.
If you can find something that you're interested in and can be passionate about, it can be a lot of fun and very rewarding and challenging. Also, finding a mentor that you can work well with is very important because they're going to guide you, and if it's someone you can work well with, then you're going to really excel at it.
There's more than meets the eye when it comes to undergraduate research. Your first semester you can get involved and really understand the process and the ideas that go in behind it, but the more you're involved in undergraduate research, you can get further and further into your project and begin to take ownership of it. And so this project I've seen all the way from the beginning, along with two other projects I've been working on at the same time. It keeps you on your toes. It's amazing where this can go and where it can relate to other big world applications in the future.
When it comes to designing something, you really need to know where you're going and what your goal is in mind. You have to be open for the design to change. It's really important to know where the design is supposed to be going and staying focused on that.
I did get to participate in writing a grant proposal, so I got experience doing that, really getting involved in the whole experimental design system. That was really important. I think it's going to be beneficial in pursuing maybe graduate school, and I think having that background as an undergraduate will really help me.
One of the things I'm amazed with is almost all of the students I've had involved in undergraduate research, their grade point averages have increased dramatically after they started in undergraduate research. It gets them engaged, it shows them that they can contribute to something, and then for many of them, it's the door that opens graduate school or professional school afterward.
Research not only makes the undergraduate experience more special, but it also definitely opens doors to better experiences after you graduate, including at the graduate level, and also if you're going straight into the workforce.
We learn a lot of things in the classroom, sort of textbook theorems and examples, but I think actually getting hands-on data and being expected to conduct a research project is a completely different intellectual experience, and I think it's very valuable for people to go through that and learn what it's like.
What I've really enjoyed is getting to know the grad students and my mentor. You know, it builds a great relationship and rapport with them. I looked forward to going into lab every week, so I would, say that that's really important to make sure that you're somewhere that you want to be.
It's a great way to get involved academically. I've learned a lot from my experience. I've learned more from doing research than I have reading a textbook. I've learned how to think critically, and I've had fun in the process. So I definitely recommend something people should do once they get into UK.
Research will completely change your college experience for the better.
It will pay off, not just in your presentation abilities, your different publications you might be able to get, but just even in your coursework.
Ask questions, don't be intimidated. People really want to help you and learn with you and do a great project with you.